Hello everyone and welcome to my 1 month post-op, what is this in my face? My 1 month post-op Q&A video. So I have a ton of questions that you guys have sent me and I greatly appreciate it. You guys have just been asking me questions on videos. You guys have DM'd me. You guys have wrote me on Facebook. Yeah, so you guys have just been asking me questions. There's general questions that I have been receiving. I am going to answer it in this video. If your question does not come up in this video, I do apologize. It's probably because I did not see it until after I filmed this video. So we're just going to go ahead and get started because I do have quite a few questions to get through and I need to go kick my kids from school. So question number one that I've gotten, which I don't understand why I've gotten this question, because if you follow me on Instagram or if you follow me here, you already know the answer. The first question I always get is, what did you actually have done? So if you're new here, you haven't seen any of my other videos, or you're just curious, I had an extended tummy tuck, which is basically the tummy tucks are typically from hip to hip. My tummy tuck went a little bit more around. It's not a full circumference. It just extended a little bit, just like it said. So my tummy tuck literally goes from like the start of my back on each side to each side. If you go back and watch any of my videos, you'll see what I mean. I'll probably put a clip in here somewhere of what I'm talking about. So I had an extended tummy tuck with full muscle repair and liposuction of my flanks and lower back. And did she lipo my hips at all? I don't think so. It's just my flanks and my lower back. How tall are you and how much did you weigh before and after surgery? So I'm 5'9", so I'm on the tall side. Like I'm tall. On surgery day, when I went to the surgery clinic, I was 175 pounds. And after surgery, I was 174 pounds at the surgery clinic. And then I think I weighed myself 2 weeks after surgery and I was 175. But I gained a pound because of swelling. This morning when I weighed myself, I was 166 pounds. So I'm actually losing weight. And it's not by accident. It's not because I had surgery I lost weight. It's not because she took out a bunch of fat. Because for me, I was mostly loose skin. So my weight loss contributes to the fact that I've been eating very good and very healthy. And I've been limiting my snacks and my sugar and my carb intake. So that's why I am losing weight. The next question, how much time off work did you take? My time off is a little different because I'm 100% self-employed. I am a full-time wedding and portrait photographer. So I actually had my surgery like in a peak time of wedding season, which is October. But I purposely didn't schedule any weddings in October because I know I wanted to be fully recovered. Not fully recovered, but mostly recovered by Thanksgiving and Christmas through the holidays. So for me, I did not schedule my first photo shoot until last Friday. So my surgery was on October 18th and my first shoot was last Friday, which put me at roughly, what was that, 3 weeks and 4 days? Yeah, 3 weeks and 4 days is when I did my first shoot. So I guess I went back to work in 3.5 weeks. I think most people go back to work after 2 or 3 weeks. All right, did you get lipo as well? Yes, I did get lipo. I got lipo of my flanks and my lower back. Just to carve me out and shape me. It wasn't nothing too much. Oh, and I got liposuction to like right here too. So your flanks are your love handles, but I also got liposuction up here as well, just to like curve me out and like make my shape more prominent. Can the lipo fat be transferred? Yes. So a lot of people do get lipo fat transferred to like their hips or their butt. I didn't do any of that because I naturally already have a nice behind and I already have nice hips. So my hips measure at a 41 inches around. So I didn't need nothing extra. I didn't need nothing transfer. I said, take that fat and do as it that you please. Just don't put it back in me. And then on top of that, I didn't have enough fat anyway to transfer if I needed it. Did you have lipo to your stomach? No, I did not. You cannot get liposuction to your stomach while you're getting a tummy tuck because what it does, it cuts off the blood supply. That is one of the reasons why she didn't lipo. Like I tell people all the time, like I got like these little crease rows up under my bra strap that I'm just going to have to work out in the gym because she couldn't lipo those because of the blood supply. And the same thing with your stomach. You can't get lipo to your upper stomach when you have a tummy tuck because it can cause necrosis, and necrosis is basically when your skin along your incision line is not getting enough blood supply, so it dies and it falls off and your incision opens back up, and because the skin is off, it's just a disgusting situation, I will leave a link in the description box below that you can click on, and you can see the effects of necrosis. And that comes from too much blood supply being lost and not being able to get to the incision line. So no, I did not have lipo to my upper stomach, and it was for that reason. Financing options. So for me, I don't know if they want to know how much you pay for it, or if there are financing options. There are financing options. So when you go to get your consultation, that's one of the things you need to ask your surgeon. You need to ask your surgeon if they have financing options, like through Care Credit, or if the surgery center they're using or hospital they're using allows the patients to use Care Credit. So for me, my surgeon and the surgery center should use both accept Care Credit. So how I pay for my surgery is I pay for half of it and I finance the other half of it. So for me, my surgery would be paid off maybe like by next June, how I have my payment plan set up. So yeah, that's how I did it. You also can take out a personal loan. In the surgery groups that I'm a part of, people have taken out a second mortgage. People have taken out loans. People just save up money to pay for it themselves. A husband pays for it, a in-law. Like there are a lot of different ways to get this procedure done if you want to get it done. How did you sleep and were you comfortable? I slept on a wedge and I hated it. Like, it was comfortable, but I'm not a back sleeper, and I don't like sleeping like straight up in bed, but you have to sleep like at a 45-degree angle until you heal. So it was okay at first, but if you go back and you watch my 1 month or my 4-week post-op video, this week was the first week that I've actually been able to sleep in my bed without the wedge. So that is a godsend, because I was so uncomfortable and I was just ready to sleep like a normal human being again. How long were you taking pain meds? So I mentioned this in another video. I'll leave the playlist linked up here in the cards and in the description box. I only took pain medication up into post-op day 3 in the morning. The last pain medication I took was at 10 a.m. and that was before I went to my first post-op appointment, which was day 3 after surgery. So I had surgery on a Monday and my first appointment was on a Thursday. I do have a high tolerance of pain, so that's one of the reasons. I don't like the way Percocets made me feel, so I didn't want to be on those for long. I did end up taking Tylenol 500 milligrams extra strength. I did end up taking 2 of those like for a couple of days afterwards. Like, I'll take 2 of them per dose, but it wasn't because of my tummy tuck. It was because of my back was hurting so bad from being hunched over. And I also had muscle relaxer. The muscle relaxers I did take for about a week, only when I needed it because of my back. And then I also took, like I said, the Tylenol extra strength when I stopped taking the pain pills, and I was fine. I wasn't in a lot of pain from this surgery at all. Did you have a pain pump? No. So my doctor does not do pain pumps because she says she doesn't, like, her clients or her patients really don't tell her. Like, she hasn't seen a difference between using a pain pump and not using a pain pump as far as pain management. Now, what I do know is that she injects some type of like pain medication into you. I can't remember the name of it. If I figure out the name of it, I'll put it on the screen so that you can ask your doctor if they do that. She does inject that into your muscles and keeps you numb for like 3 days. So maybe that's why I wasn't in pain the first 3 days, because they usually say day 2 and 3 are hell days, but I never experienced that. I was literally waiting on the pain to happen and it never came. How many drains did you have and how long did they stay in? So I had 1 drain and it only stayed in for 8 days. So I had my surgery on a Monday and my drain was removed the following Tuesday, which for me was perfect. I didn't have any seromas or anything like that, but she had already told me that because I was already small to begin with and I don't have a lot of fat to remove, that I wouldn't have my drain for that long, and I didn't. What are some things you didn't know you needed for recovery until day 1 or after? I love this question, y'all, because it is so much stuff that I didn't know I needed, but I needed, and I didn't, like, no one else has said anything. So the biggest thing that I needed was freaking Prilosec, because if you go back, I think it's my first week post-op video or whatever. Prilosec, y'all make sure y'all have Prilosec on deck, because heartburn is very common after you have a tummy tuck, and I did not know I needed Prilosec. I had the Docalace, I had the Colace, I had the Milk of Magnesia, I had the Tylenol on deck, I had all of that stuff. I did not have Prilosec, and I had a horrible heartburn for like 24 to 32 hours, and it was ridiculous. So make sure that you get some Prilosec. Another thing that I got after I had my surgery was Lipofoam. I should have known I needed those. I just didn't get them because my doctor didn't say I was supposed to have them. But so I got some Lipofoam after that, and then my fajas. Y'all know the struggle I've had with the fajas. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that. I got those. What else did I get after day one I didn't think I would need? I don't know. The Prilosec was the biggest thing that I did not have after surgery that I wish I would have had like on hand. So make sure you get you some Prilosec. How long should you wait until you start to work out again? That one is mainly between you and your doctor and how you're healing. I was released to start doing light cardio at week 3 and start weight training at 6 weeks post-op. So it's just based on how you're healing. I would say you need to listen to your body, listen to your surgery. If your wounds are not completely sealed, like especially in the tummy tuck area, if you still have open incisions, it's best that you probably wait and not do anything too strenuous, because you don't want to stretch your body to stretch that wound open even more. And then when you start lifting, when you lift weights, your body is breaking down muscle to rebuild it, so you need protein to rebuild it. And if you're still healing from your surgery as far as incision goes, like your body's gonna have to say like, okay, should I send the protein to the incision site or should I send the protein to the muscles? So I say listen to your body and listen to your surgeon. What did you do to get rid of your baby hamster? This is so funny. So I think it was in my week 2 update or 11 days post-op video that I did. I said I had a baby hamster living in my pants. Y'all, my vagina was so freaking swollen after this surgery. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, I heard from one other person that your vagina is swollen, but I didn't know like it was swollen like that. Like, it was ridiculous. But anyway, I really didn't do anything to get rid of the hamster in my pants. Basically my body just started like releasing water, and just like the swelling would have waited on its own. I did do lymphatic drainage massages on myself twice a day. I highly encourage you to do that. Even if you are getting professional massages done, you still need to be doing lymphatic drainage massages on yourself to move that fluid around. So I basically did that. When I did my massages twice a day, I basically massaged that area too to push that fluid out, well, the lymph out towards my groin area. So that went down. Also, I drank a lot of water. Like, I didn't do like any supplements or anything like that to get rid of the swelling, but I did take in a lot of water to help with the swelling. So I guess that seemed to help. Where did you go to get your surgery? So I had my surgery done here in Cincinnati, Ohio. My actual doctor's office is in Hebron, Kentucky, which is right across the bridge from me, which is like a 35-minute drive away. The surgery center is like 15 minutes from my house. So I had it done locally. Yes, I did pay a little bit more to have it done locally, but for me, that was a safer option and an option I trusted better than going to Miami or any place else. Now, nothing wrong with those people who go to Miami, but I just opt not to go to surgery assembly lines. That's what I call those places. How much did your surgery cost? So this question is kind of like subjective, because depending on where you go, depending on where you live, your surgery is going to be different. Like, I know some people who live in California, they say for the same exact procedure, their surgery was like $16,000, $17,000. For me here where I live at, my surgery was $10,000 altogether. And for me, I felt like that was very reasonable for my area. Where did you go to get your faja? So I ordered 2 of the fajas offline. I ordered 1 from Macy's, and then I have 2 high compression Spanx or garments that I wear. Like, I have on one now that I got from Target. I will leave all those linked in the description box below. How long did you have someone with you? So my husband took the first week off of work with me, and he like waited on me hand and foot. The second week he did go back to work. I told him like he was supposed to have that week off, but I told him if he wanted to go back to work he could, because I really didn't like need him for too much anymore. The stuff that I did need him for was like putting lotion on my legs below my knee and like doing laundry, but all those things he could do without having to be with me 100% full time. But I did still have help. Like, my god sister would pick my kids up from school and come over. My mom came over like to help give baths, and because I have a 6-year-old, so he can't really bathe himself, but she came over to give my 6-year-old a bath and like, you know, cook dinner and stuff like that. But I also have a 15-year-old son, so he helped out a lot too, so that was nice. When were you able to drive again? So if I can recall correctly, I started driving week 2. Yeah, I did. I started driving in week 2 because I had to drive myself to my week 2 post-op appointment because my husband was at work. I wasn't on pain pills anymore, so I was okay to drive. It was a little uncomfortable because you have to drive with a pillow, and because it was like hard to like move around and adjust, I wouldn't advise it, but it is doable. How is your incision healing? My incision is healing beautiful. If you want to see some footage of my incision, you can go watch my videos. I think I showed it for the first time in my week 3 update, and I showed it again in the video that I just posted before this one, which was my 4-week post-op update. Did you get lymphatic massages? I got 1 lymphatic massage, y'all. I did not go get lymphatic massages every single day after surgery. Number 1, my surgeon told me I couldn't take my garment off until I seen her at the doctor for the first time. Number 2, wasn't nobody touching me because I was so sore. And number 3, I just felt like, I don't know, and this is just a matter of opinion. I feel like lymphatic massages, they're useful. I did enjoy the one I had, but for me it wasn't a necessity. And he even told me like, you can do this on your own at home. And he showed me like the moves that I needed to do in order to do the lymphatic drainage massages. So that's what I've been doing. Obviously I'm 4 weeks post-op. I'm still a little swollen, but that's to be expected. I have been moving around all day. I am typically flatter in the morning than I am around this time of the day. So for me, you can get lymphatic massages if you want to. I learned how to do them on my own. I also have a cousin who's a massage therapist, so like it wasn't that big of a deal. I ordered some bio oil off of Lime, and I just like, you know, just do it firmly, just how he was doing it when I was at the massage office. Will you be getting any other procedures? This is a loaded question. I feel like this question is like kind of like wanting to throw shade, because I feel like some people believe that if you have one procedure done, it's kind of like getting a tattoo. Like you get addicted to getting tattoos, you get addicted to having plastic surgery. I am no shape, form, or fashion ever going to be addicted to having plastic surgery, because plastic surgery just costs way too much money for me to be addicted to, and I ain't about that life. However, to answer your question, yes, I am getting at least 2 more cosmetic procedures done. The first cosmetic procedure that I'm getting done, I'm getting that done next October. I already talked to my surgeon about it, and that is I am getting a breast lift with breast augmentation to finish out my mommy makeover. I was supposed to get it when I had my tummy tuck, but I was on the fence if I wanted to just do the breast lift or the breast lift with the augmentation. And as it got closer to surgery, I still hadn't made up my mind, so I said, you know what, let's just hold off on it, and I can make up my mind later. After having this surgery, I'm glad I did not do both, because when you get a breast lift and augmentation, you can't lift your arms or anything like that. So I would have really been rendered as helpless. So I'm kind of glad that I did break the procedures up. And plus, I didn't want to be under anesthesia for more than 4 or 6 hours anyway, because this surgery by itself, it took 3.5 hours to do it. So I know like adding on the whole breast lift and augmentation, that probably would have took another 2 to 3 hours. So I will be getting that procedure done next week. I mean, not next week, next year. And if you've been following me on this channel since the beginning, if you're OG, you know that I've always struggled with premature hair loss due to mechanical alopecia, traction alopecia, that's what they call it. It's the mechanical hair loss. I've been dealing with that like all of my 20s, all of my 30s. I'm 34 years old. So I've already had a consultation, looked into getting a hair transplant. I may or may not get one. So I go see a African-American dermatologist who specializes in African-American hair loss. I go see her in January. I was supposed to go see her Tuesday, but I had to make an appointment to go see my doctor about my incision that was opening. Go watch the last video if you want to know more about that. So I had to move the appointment. So the next appointment is in January. I'm gonna go see her, and what my hopes is that hopefully we can do some type of procedure like injections or stuff to start stimulating my hair to grow back. But if it doesn't, if we can't get it to grow back through that, then yes, I will get a hair transplant, and that will wrap it up for my cosmetic procedures, because there's nothing else that I want done. Like, no one's ever gonna touch my face. I'm happy with my body the way it is. Next question. How was your diet after surgery? So after surgery, I really didn't restrict myself to too much. The one thing that I did do is make sure that I drank a lot of water. I haven't had a soda since before surgery. And I upped my protein. So I'm not really a big meat eater, but I knew that I needed to have a lot of protein. So I was just having protein shakes, eating a lot of protein, like just making sure that I was getting a lot of protein. As far as my diet is right now, I really don't subscribe to the whole diet culture. So it's really just basically I eat intuitively. I do intermittent fast, but I eat intuitively, and I eat when I'm hungry. And if I'm not hungry, I don't eat. And I eat when my body tells me to eat. So if I want to have an apple, I'll have an apple. On the keto diet, you can't have that. That's why I said I'm not really doing that. So I eat a lot of protein. I know if I pack my breakfast full of protein for the majority of the day, I will be full, and I probably only eat one other time, like with a snack in between. What are your top 3 must-haves the first week of surgery? A Shiwi. A Shiwi saved my life because my toilets are low, and there's no way on God's green earth I would have been able to sit down on a toilet to pee or even squat, because I had no muscle strength whatsoever in my abs to even do that, to hold myself up. So a Shiwi is a must-have. You have to have a Shiwi. Get you a Shiwi if you're gonna have this surgery. It will save your life. You will thank me later. The next thing I would say that is a must-have is that you either need to have a recliner or you need to have some type of wedge system to sit up in the bed. I did not have a recliner. Quite frankly, I hate recliners. I think they're uncomfortable. So I had the wedge system so that I could sit up in the bed, and I could also move that wedge system downstairs to sit up on the couch. You cannot move a recliner from room to room throughout the day. So that really helped out a lot so that I could stay comfortable regardless to what room I was in. The next thing that I would say was a must-have, not so much throughout the whole first week, but at least for the first and second day, was a walker. And I cannot tell you enough how much I am so grateful that my aunt had kept her walker from when she had knee surgery, because that thing was a lifesaver, because I could not, there's no way I could have stood up straight. And that's just because of the way my surgeon did the surgery. She did my surgery with me literally sitting up at a 45, 90 degree angle so that she could see how my skin folded over my waist or whatever, so she could make sure I didn't have any of that folding over skin. So I was super tight, and it was really hard and uncomfortable to stand. So a walker was really crucial those first couple of days. One more thing, so this is really 4 for me, but the person asked for 3, is a shower chair. Get you a shower chair. If you don't have a shower, if you're not fortunate, I'm not fortunate enough to have a bench inside your shower, you're going to need some type of shower chair to sit in, because those first couple of showers were really hard. I got lightheaded really fast, which my doctor warned me. She was like, I don't know what it is, but when that warm water hits you the first time, you'll get really tired and lightheaded. And I did, and I had to sit down. And the other reason why you need a shower chair is because you're weak. Like, it's hard to hold yourself up. You have to try to wash yourself and like hold yourself up, and your muscles in your stomach aren't working, and your back is all jacked up. Like, it's hard. Like, my husband helped me with my first couple of showers, and it's like I was out of breath just for taking a shower. So a shower chair is something that you make sure that you want to have as well. What is one thing that happened during your recovery that caught you completely off guard? So there's a few things that happened during recovery that caught me off guard. Number 1 was the heartburn. I mentioned already. I had no idea about post tummy tuck heartburn. That caught me completely off guard, hence the reason why I wasn't ready with Prilosec. And the other thing that caught me off guard was the fact that I got a yeast infection from the antibiotics. So my doctor gave me antibiotics to be on, which I'm pretty sure most doctors do. A lot of the times with women, this is common too. The antibiotics will cause you to have a yeast infection. So if you haven't had the surgery yet, make sure that you get your doctor to write you a prescription for some Docalex, whatever. I don't know, whatever the yeast infection medication is. Have your doctor write you a 3-day prescription for that so that you can take to get ahead of it. Because the last thing you want is an itchy cat. Why? So basically, okay, I had an itchy, swollen cat. That's what I had. Like, my vagina was itchy because I had a yeast infection, and it looked like a baby hamster was in my pants. I did not enjoy my first week of surgery, like post-op surgery. It was miserable. And it wasn't even miserable because of the tummy tuck itself. It was miserable because of everything else. It was miserable because I had heartburn. It was miserable because my vagina was so swollen, like I had a hamster down there. It was miserable because I got a freaking yeast infection. And it was miserable because my back was hurting like hell. So it's not really the muscle tightening itself that is the issue. It's everything else that comes along with it that is the issue. So yeah, those are the things that I did not expect. Was actually let's say 3. The swollen hamster in my pants, the yeast infection, and the heartburn are the things that caught me completely off guard. So that is it for the questions. If you guys have any more questions, keep them coming. I will film another video like this next month. Just leave it in the comment section below, and I do answer people's questions in the comments as well. So if you are ever looking for an answer, try to read through some of the comments to see what other people have asked, to see if I already answered the question, because I do respond to you guys as much as I can. I try to respond to every single comment. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to keep these videos coming. And let me know in the comment section below what other type of videos you want to see to me that is related to like what I eat in a day, fitness videos, or more about my tummy tuck that I just haven't talked about. I'm an open book. I'm not scared to share. I will share, even if it is personal, even if it is like what you consider TMI. I told you guys I had a yeast infection and a swollen coochie. I don't understand how anything else could be off the limits and off the table. So yeah, make sure that you go ahead and ask me those questions if you have them, and watch the vlogs, like my day-to-day vlogs. I'm trying to get lit with these vlogs, and I want to do Vlogmas, so give me some encouragement and go watch those videos as well. But anyway, I gotta run out and go get my kids, and I will see you guys in the next video.